All right, y'all. Welcome back to Bit by Bit episode. What is this? 10.
10.
Yup. We back from the dead. How you feel being back?
Hey, I'm back from life. Back from life been good.
Yup. What you been up to?
Wait, we got to start with the Bitcoin price.
Oh yeah. I think I was looking at it before we even started. I think it's like 119.8. Let's see if I was right. Nope. 119.4.
All right, and while we were gone, we hit an all-time high of 123,000.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll go from there. So, where we going? What have I been up to?
Yep.
So, last episode, let's see, trip to LA, family trip to LA, that was smooth. My birthday, that was smooth. A little trip to Mexico, that was smooth. I just been moving and grooving.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
Shit, I just been ducked off, but I went to El Salvador. I wanted to check out the Bitcoin capital. I feel like everybody who's like really into the Bitcoin space, if you do have the means to like go travel and see, I definitely think El Salvador is worth going to go see. It was just like cool seeing like them actually integrating Bitcoin into their society.
Did you see like signs that say you could pay with Bitcoin here?
Yeah, like a lot of like the restaurants and like the local shops, they'll say like signs like Bitcoin preferred. Like a lot of places prefer Bitcoin, and there was even this Bitcoin shop like not too far from where I was at, but I didn't have time to go because I was too busy like sightseeing, just like taking everything in. Like I went on this hike. If you go to El Salvador, well, the part I was in El Tunco, but if you go there, there's this little town called
location drop.
Yeah, I'll drop the location because I'm already, when you already back, like I didn't already been there, I'm out. So.
Now, you know, people be name dropping like, oh, I was such and such. Oh yeah, that one time I was in El Salvador.
But I gotta let them know because
facts.
Let them know the hiatus. But what I was saying, like there's this small town called Tamanique. And it's like these waterfalls you can go do. You can go see a guide, and they'll take you down this steep ass hill. And that shit's like, I want to say 40 minutes, and it's like a lot of good sights to see. It's a lot of greenery. And that
Is it cool. Like a good mixture with outdoor stuff and then like little places to kick it and the beach and stuff?
Exactly.
So is it closer to Tulum or Turks?
Neither.
It's a whole different vibe.
Yeah, it's a whole different vibe. It's more like that like backpacker, like really sightseeing. It's not somewhere like you take your best fit to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like shit, come with your shorts and
Can we see your fits from out there? Can we put his fits up there?
Yeah, you can put some fits up there. I was still putting that shit on regardless.
Because you gonna do that either
way. Like I'm not gonna let what other people wearing dictate what I'm gonna do. But I was definitely like,
y'all wanna hear a funny story about him?
Wait, are you talking about the airport?
Yo, we all flew to Dubai for Vic's birthday, and it's like I got there like a day and a half before everybody, and bro was flying, but he had to fly from Houston to
it was Frankfurt,
then to Frankfurt to Dubai. Bro text me early in the morning talking about I'm the flyest nigga to Frankfurt airport.
My fit was clean though when I showed up though, like. When I got to Dubai, my fit was clean.
Imagine if you
I
wake up.
I probably got a picture of that hoe.
Can you imagine if you wake up in the morning, you're like, I gotta get some like a flight, right? I'm just gonna put on sweats and a hoodie or whatever,
bro.
And imagine there's somebody in line sizing you up like, this nigga ain't.
Hey, don't let him fool y'all. This nigga be trying to put on fits to the airport.
Trying to.
You do.
I do it sometimes.
Yeah, but you're not thinking, but it's thought like, okay, I'm gonna put some little shit on.
Or I just put on clothes and then it just happens to be that shit.
I mean, I feel that, but airport fits matter. Don't let anybody tell y'all otherwise.
Nah, but to text that at like 7, 8, 9 in the morning was kind of crazy.
That's live though. That's live to me.
A
Like
bunch of German people like, oh, I'm leaving the country for the first time.
Ain't gonna lie, they was not fucking with my fit. I'm gonna find a picture of it. Remind me when I'm gonna put a. We gonna put a picture of it.
I just randomly be like, I'm the flyest nigga to Frankfurt.
That shit was funny.
But that's cool, man. You had a good trip.
Yeah, I'd give it like.
Go ahead.
I'd give it like a 9 out of 10.
Were you out there when it hit all time highs?
Was I? I don't think I was. I don't remember. I don't think I was. I think it was still probably like 120, 119, like the same price range. So
Didn't it feel like a big difference from breaking 100 and then 120?
yeah, it did.
Why do you think that is?
I think like a lot of people disappeared. I ain't gonna lie. That's what I think.
What happened to them?
I will say
I know what happened to you, nigga.
I feel like
I know what happened to y'all. Y'all bullshit.
yeah,
Y'all
sold y'all shit.
Sold y'all shit to
Got
go.
rid of it.
Yep.
Cause you peep when it hit 123K, it felt like it was crickets on the
It
TL.
was
So
crickets.
and it's not like we're looking for people to be saying anything, but like when it hit 100, you seen everybody seemed like it was like
My DMs were going
yeah,
crazy.
like you seen everybody on the TL, everybody posting their like, oh, I've been buying, like I got this now, I'm doing this. Like they'll send you a lot of DMs. Like a couple people was DMing me like, oh my God, Bitcoin hit 100K. And then when it blasts past 100 eventually and goes to 123, it's kind of like crickets. Like obviously you got the news sites posting about
Yeah,
Bitcoin and
it
shit,
was
but
kinda
you
quiet
don't,
for the
yeah.
people.
You see, it seems like either one, a lot of people sold, or a lot of people hit that play where I'm going to take the Bitcoin I do have and try to do something else with it. Like, let me go trade some altcoins. Let me go trade some, like,
yeah, it almost
meme
feels like
coins
people
or-
like
yeah.
it almost feels like people were like guessing what
Yeah.
Bitcoin and they were right with their guess. So then it feels like this was their first win. So they can't
Yeah.
let it slip out of their hands. So they're gonna sell it for the Diddy dollars and then go buy X, Y, and Z. So
Yeah.
then, or maybe you sold some of it. You didn't sell all of it. Maybe you sold, I don't know, 3/4 of it, half of it. Like, oh no, you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Let me take profits, right? And then when it goes to 123, your Bitcoin at?
Yeah, exactly.
saying?
But I also think a lot of people have like a super diversified portfolio. Like I would
point.
say like you'll end up seeing like these faceless accounts where they eventually like drop their portfolio structure. It'll be like 20% QQQ, 20% Tesla, then it'll be like 8% Bitcoin. But they'll be talking about Bitcoin because that's the hottest thing right now.
Yeah,
You know
you'll
what I'm
use
saying?
Bitcoin for like the clicks or the likes, but in reality, that shit 8% of your portfolio.
Exactly.
You invested in Kava because you think you smart. That shit down 20%. Like they feeding you slop.
Exactly.
I was a Kava junkie for a second.
I was too. I haven't ate that shit in so long.
Yeah, but it's crazy too because like investing is so cutthroat because now it's not really investing, it's speculating. So a company like Kava could run up like crazy and you're thinking like, yeah, this is the next best thing, and then eventually they miss earnings 1 quarter
Yeah,
and you're clipped.
everything is
like,
clipped.
That shit is crazy.
Because
But
you're looking for like for the future revenue.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And it's a lot of people's different decisions that go in play with these companies. Like
Yeah.
the board of directors, they want to take it this path that it may not align with what the public likes to see or like to hear. And you're holding that Kava stock. Maybe you didn't do the due diligence. You're not sure. But at any given moment, some new news could come out because at the end of the day, it's in the hands of another man what's going to happen. So
what's crazy is you could do your due diligence
and still get fried.
Yeah, you don't know
Yeah.
what the board of directors are gonna
Exactly.
say.
That's true.
Like the speculation or whatever. But you probably sit in Bitcoin. That's just down anyway. why would you go invest in something that's down in Bitcoin?
Exactly.
I don't know.
And I think that's a hard like
Concept,
thing
but-
for people to grasp because
Yeah.
it's like people would give it to you like, okay, Bitcoin has been the best performing asset, but what about this or what about this? You're like, okay, well, I'm holding X, Y, or I may be holding Tesla, I may be holding fucking AMD, and then I maybe have some Bitcoin. You're like, okay, my portfolio might be doing decent because Bitcoin is propping it up or these companies are doing decent themselves, but it's like, why are you having any money in second or third place? It's like, I'm just going for first place and that's it. Like, I don't want 160% return on 25% of my money.
Hey,
And then-
hold on. That just hit me. Yes, exactly, bro. So when people are like, oh, but you could have bought this stock and it outperformed Bitcoin, you're like, yeah, that's 1 out of 25
Yeah.
of your share. What about the ones that are red?
Oh, God.
Hey, that's why my response to people now is post portfolio.
Facts.
Post portfolio, bro. Like you say whatever you gotta say. Post portfolio.
Because it's like
Cause you got a winner.
Yeah, like
so if you got 100 bands in an account and your $15,000 position in whatever it is up because you only put 5 bands in it and now it's worth 15. Well, what about everything else in there? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you might be diversified as far as the company and the stock market, but they're all tied to the same Diddy dollar. So you better hope you're outperforming inflation, and the inflation rate is the S&P 500. So if you're not better than that, beating that, you wasting your time.
That's why most of like stock people, you see their portfolios, it's like roughly the same, even though they're making like, they'll say, oh, I'm making so much off this trade, I made so much off this investment, but it's like your portfolio isn't moving because all your money isn't in the winner.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's why I say, like, if you want some financial advice, diversify your portfolio. If you want some freedom advice, go all in on the best idea. But do the knowledge, obviously. But I think that's another reason, like you were saying, why people aren't like hella geeked about
celebrating, because like it's only 10% of your portfolio. Why are you gonna celebrate if $5,000 moved 35%? You know,
them houses that you getting rental income on been going sideways for the last 4 years. Half your stocks are getting cooked. 2 of them are doing good, and your Bitcoin is up. That's why you're not geeked. Yeah. Or you could just all in on the best idea. Right? Because Bitcoin isn't an investment. So an investment is, hey, I'm speculating that this thing is going to produce more money, right? I need this company, I need this car, I need this whatever that it is to produce me more money. That's what an investment would be. Bitcoin is not an investment, it is money. Yeah. You got what I'm saying? So you don't, the same way you don't invest in the dollar. Yeah. You don't go, oh, I'm investing in the dollar. Oh, I'm investing in like the euro. Like, oh, I use the euro every day, I'm investing it. No, that's why you're saving in the dollar. You save your money in the euro. You save your money in Bitcoin. So that's the savings and the speculation or whatever.
I was gonna say that's why it's even funny when people try to compare Bitcoin to like Tesla stock. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, they're 2 different things.
You ever get tired of people being dumb?
Hey, I'm just so used to it because most people you interact with be dumb. So it's just like.
Well, I would say the people who watch this are actually pretty like they're on it, because think about all the experience you have when people come up to you and be like, "Oh, I'll be watching bit by bit." They actually get it. Yeah, y'all get it. It's the people that when y'all post stuff on y'all stories, and then the people want to argue with you, do y'all get tired of like, hey, bro, read a book, man. And what's crazy is like, you know how like it's probably been a month and a half since we did our last episode. In that time, we're getting smarter. We're doing more knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So the questions that y'all might have, if y'all had those same the questions in episode 1, and now we're at episode 10, but we're only doing 1 episode a month, damn near, right? Why haven't you done the knowledge? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like the same way somebody would say, never rely on one source of income, don't rely on one source of information. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait for us to specifically read your comment and then answer it, right? Because sometimes people will DM me, bro, it's sad because last year around August, Bitcoin was like 54K, right? It was like August 4th. And I had posted my story. I'm like, oh, I've never seen a scary nigga prosper. Basically, like, buy Bitcoin or whatever. Yeah. And then somebody had responded to that and was like, oh, do you think I should buy in now or I should wait? And then this August, it was the same person making the same comment. I'm like, your money would have doubled from last year. My bad, I didn't get to you, but you shouldn't be relying only on me. This is why we tell y'all which books to read. This is so you go do the knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Because me and him could tell you something, but you're not going to have strong enough conviction if you're not sitting down and reading and understanding it for yourself, you know? Exactly. Yeah. So, and another thing is like, we're dropping these episodes and like did this podcast to like really teach people. And we feel like for the most part, everything we've said up until now, all the episodes we said up until now, like you should get the gist by this point. Yeah. So like,
this is what money is. This is what currency is. This is the problem with the currency that we use. This is what Bitcoin is. Here's why it's valuable. Here's why it's different than stocks. This is why it's different than the dollar. This is who runs Bitcoin, who controls Bitcoin, which is nobody. So we tried to go like step by step, and then this is why we go all in. This is why we don't like this asset class. This is why we don't like that Like we try to do it step by step. So if you start in episode 1 and
Then you go to 10. You
get
should
down to 10,
You should get it by now.
You not only should you get it, you should have a lot of homework to go do.
Yeah, like
because
let me
like
read
we
this
say,
book. Let me go watch these videos. Let me go and do. Because I feel like I'm not trying to throw shade on anybody or knock anything that other people are doing, but I feel like a lot of other creators, the goal isn't really to teach, but it's like, let me psych everybody up and keep them coming back for more
it's
of
that
the dopamine.
It's like that success porn, but in the Bitcoin space. It'll be like Bitcoin porn.
Yep.
So like every week you're making the same 3 videos. How soon could Bitcoin get to $1 million? Here's the best price prediction. How much Bitcoin do you need to retire? Like that type of stuff. Like that's success porn. That's Bitcoin porn. We're trying to make sure that you understand.
Yeah, the whole goal is to understand.
Yeah, to understand. Now, with that being said, if we say something, you got to go verify what we just said. And we say, okay, our reference is the book. Then you go read the book, and then you need to go find the references that the book has.
Yeah.
So there's like, you're not trusting me. You're not trusting him. You're not even trusting the author of this book. You need to go verify everything. Therefore, you'll see everything that we're saying, like you'll see it for yourself. And with that, you get conviction. So when the whole world is telling you you're tripping, or everybody in your family is telling you tripping, because I know people in your family be thinking y'all crazy, and you be like, yo, watch this Chris and OJ dude, and they be like, nah, them niggas crazy too. But when you understand something and everybody else doesn't, it doesn't sway your opinion. Like there's that Marcus Aurelius quote that says like the opinion of 10,000 men means nothing if they don't know anything about the subject. You're like, you're right. Like if imagine you go to a basketball game, right? It's the Clippers versus the Suns, right? The Clippers versus the Suns in Los Angeles. So you got 15, 20,000 people there to watch a basketball game, right? And then instead of having basketball players come out, you have scientists go and debate things, right? And then they're hearing all the noise from the crowd saying, no, I think this guy's right. I think this guy's right. The scientists are going to be like, are any of y'all scientists?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, y'all niggas came here for a basketball game. Exactly. Like, so therefore, your opinion is not going to matter to them. It's the same way when you do the knowledge and then people are in your comments or people in your group chat or people in your family like, no, what about this one? About like, bro, do the knowledge, you know? And therefore, I don't let other people's opinion shake me or change my opinion. Or like, let's say when they say, oh, this company says that they're coming out with some quantum chip, and then everybody DMs you like, is this going to break Bitcoin? You're like, bro, if all it takes is for somebody to make a news story and post something on social media with some big ass words for you to sell,
be shaken out,
to be shaken, you deserve to get shaken out. You got what I'm saying? So I have like this quote that says like, maturity is moving faster or slower than everybody else, you know, like where everybody else is moving. You move at your own pace. Sometimes in life, you're going to move way faster than everybody else, right? Think about the people buying Bitcoin in 2012. They were moving way faster than the rest of the world, right? Maturity is like being okay with my pace. I'm doing something. I know they don't get it yet, but they will, right? Those people got crazy rich off that, right?
Yeah.
The other side is that it's moving slower than everybody else when you're not comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So when everybody is, let's say like in your situation, like people your age, and it doesn't even have to be you're not comfortable. It's just like you don't think it's a good idea. So people your age who are out, spend all their money popping bottles, spend all their money, you know what I mean, clothes, like just bullshit. And you're like, nah, I'm trying to set up myself for the future or whatever. And then, of course, you're going to get people in your ear. You know what I mean? It could be whatever, you know, your friends. It could be girl. It could be anybody like that are in your ear saying things about, nah, bro, you should live. Oh, you should do this. You should do. Oh, you should do that, right? And it would be a mark of maturity to be like, I'm running my own race. You know what I mean? I'm moving at my own pace. So some of y'all need to lead your friends and your family. So and the way you lead is not by sending a bunch of articles. It's not by sending a bunch of podcasts. It's not by sending a bunch of books. It's becoming what you want to see them do.
And I'll even like say like, don't be afraid to do the knowledge, because you'll see like a lot of people who are meant to be the teachers or like the leaders in certain spaces, they run away from doing the knowledge, and someone who has done the knowledge can see that, okay, this person doesn't really know what they're talking about. So just don't be afraid to do the knowledge and be that person who, okay, I think like this, I'm going to move like this, and be that person for my friends and my family.
And you'll see it right away, because when somebody has the same stupid argument they had 10 months ago that they have now, and you're like, nigga, 10 months, you ain't read one book?
Exactly. All it takes sometimes is sit down and just read. Go MIA. Do what you need to do. Learn what you need to learn.
You turn into one of them Twitter accounts. Go Ghost. Go Ghost for 6
Nah, but that's really
Go Ghost for 6 months.
You have to just sit down, do the knowledge, because
hey, how come them niggas be tweeting Go Ghost every day? Like, how come you not Ghost,
you
bro?
not go. That is
you
funny.
not Ghost. Like, why are you telling people to go Ghost for 6 months or for 3 months? Then you need to go Ghost for 5 years, bro. You need 10 years.
Sit down and learn what you
they're right.
learn.
The concept is right. Like, instead of giving your opinion about everything, go get the knowledge.
Go actually read it. Because for me personally, like, once I made the decision to myself, like, okay, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to reach where I want to go. Now, what do I need to learn? And being open to learning new things. Because if you're somebody who's closed off to learning new things, you're just going to keep yourself at the same level that you're at, right? So it's like a lot of times you may run into somebody where, like, you may be doing decent or you may be doing bad, and then you tell them something like, hey, go learn about this or go do XYZ, but it requires learning something new, and they're like, okay, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, you want to know a problem? A big problem? People think learning is a childhood concept.
Yep.
I'm in school, I should have to learn.
Yeah.
People think learning is something for children.
Yeah, learning is a forever thing, forever journey.
That blows my mind. I realize that. Okay, and speaking of this, the same way we have people who are illiterate and they can't read or they can't understand what they read, we have people who are enumerate, right? They don't understand basic math. They don't understand the concepts of, like,
heavy on that. Everybody will be talking, like, when it comes down to breaking percentage gains down. I don't understand why people can't understand that. Like, if we take Ethereum, what's going on right now? I remember you had brung up that chart. It's like everybody.
OJ, did you sell your Bitcoin for Ethereum?
Hell no.
Tell the truth, man.
I ain't sell that shit.
I forgot that you got more Bitcoin than you did in the last episode.
Yep.
All right, for sure. All right, go ahead.
But look, so people don't understand percentage gains. So one thing that we always tell people is to price the shit in Bitcoin. So, like, you know, there's your ETH Bitcoin, there's your ADA Bitcoin, there's your Solana, whatever the case is. So you'll see your, like, coin valuation denominated in Bitcoin. So if you go look at the ETH Bitcoin chart, like, it's just been falling, then a slight pop. And everybody's raving about this pop. But if you go look at the percentages, it's like, okay, from Bitcoin's bottom at what, 14, 15K?
15,600.
Okay, 15,600. It's went from 15,600 all the way up to 123,000. So what is that, like a 9x or 900 something, 800 and something, 900% return, right? So in the bottom of Ethereum was what, 1,000?
Like 800-900, and now maybe it's 1,000, and now it's at $4,500.
Exactly. So that's like, we can say 4 to 5x, right?
Yeah.
So everybody is like, when Ethereum gets to running, or these little coins get to popping a little bit, everybody's like raving and yelling. And like,
your money would have already moved.
Your money would have already moved. Like, people are saying, see, that's why you should have bought Ethereum, or that's why you should have bought plug-in X coin, whatever coin you want to say. And you're like, well, if you do the math and look at the percentage gains or price
math
the shit in something else,
ass.
math be like whooping people's ass.
Yeah.
And you can tell, like, okay, before I say this or tweet this or get on the internet talking about this, let me sit down and understand what I'm saying before I say it. But a lot of people, they're just, let me get this out to get likes, or let me get retweets or whatever shares you're looking for. So
and then so on top of, like, the innumeracy thing, well, I shouldn't say on top of it, intertwined with it, not only are you not understanding basic math and arithmetic, right? Also, there's another layer above that. So not only do you need to understand the math, now we got to go talk about purchasing power. You got what I'm saying? And you're like, hey, like, a higher number isn't always a better thing. This is why, right? Because, you know, y'all know there's a saying that says, it's not what you make, it's what you keep, right? And I was thinking about that, and I'm like, dang, that's like pretty true. You know what I mean? It's not what you make, it's what you keep. And then I was thinking, like, it's not what you keep, it's what you can buy with what you keep, right? Exactly. So it's not what you make, it's what you keep, but it's not what you keep, it's what you buy with what you can keep, or what you do keep, right? So you're like, bro, this simple things like, if your pawpaw made $10,000 a year, but a house was $23,000, and you make $100,000 a year, and a house is $450,000, he has more wealth than you. He has more purchasing power than you. You just look at, well, he made 10,000, I make 100,000. I'm making progress. Like, hey, we have to start to understand the difference between the two numbers, right? This whole game is about purchasing power. Can you buy more stuff than you used to be able to buy? And I feel like I say this every episode, but then people don't get it. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy? I was talking to my mom about that the other day. Like, I damn near converted her into a Bitcoiner, but she hasn't made her first purchase. I'll probably give her some and then be like, add on to it. But she was talking to me and saying, like, should I start our 401k, or are you doing 401k? And I'm like, I didn't tell her hell no. I was just like, no, because like you have to understand, like, the gains that you get in your 401k are roughly like, I think 6 to 7% year over year, 8%. I think it's something around that. And I was explaining to her like the inflation rate, like what all goes into that number that we get. And I was telling her about like the S&P 500. Like, if you're not outperforming the S&P 500 for the most part, you're getting poorer. Or if you are keeping up with the S&P 500, you're roughly staying the same. But most people 401k is like 6, 7, 8%.
Yeah. If you were to just buy the S&P 500 in your 401k, that's what most people are doing. But you're like, and then when you consider the inflation, like, so that's why, like, you know, the finance content creators will be like, well, if you just contribute X amount to your 401k in 30 years, you know, your $500 a month will have you at $2 million. And you're like, and one house will cost $2 million.
Exactly. And that's what I was explaining to her. Just explaining, like, you want to be over that number, because if you're at that number or under, like, you're basically wasting your time. Like, you're either staying the same or getting poorer. And then she was trying to like really get it. So, my parents, they're both Nigerian. I'm Nigerian. So I was explaining to her, like, in terms of the Naira, I'm like, okay, back then when you were telling me that your dad bought a house and car for X amount of Naira, but if he would have had the same amount of Naira and buried it in the ground and gave it to y'all today, then you could probably get like a wine bottle now.
A lollipop.
Exactly. And she's like, oh, I get it. Like, the Naira has been devalued. So I'm like telling her, like, it doesn't matter that you have like a tons of like the numeric amount if it can't buy you any more things in the future. And she's like, oh, okay, now I get it. So
hey, y'all gonna see what he's saying. Inflation eventually gonna make everybody a millionaire.
Yeah, exactly. Like, being a millionaire is not gonna be anything.
Inflation gonna make everybody
now the common house is $10 million, so you being a millionaire doesn't really mean anything.
What's crazy is, so I was like, you know, playing on ChatGPT or whatever, and I was like, around how many, so before we broke the dollar and gold connection in 71, I was wondering, before that happened, how many millionaires were in America? They're like 180,000, around 180,000, right? Then I was like, how much is $1 million from 1970 today, right? $8 million. So I was thinking, like, oh, damn. Remember you were a kid, what you thought $1 million house would look like?
Yeah.
I bet you that's what an $8 million house looks like.
Facts.
You got what I'm saying? Like, y'all watching this, you remember when you was a kid, you used to think, like, $1 million for one house? This is going to be the craziest house.
Yep.
Go in Zillow and go look at every $8 million house in your state. You're going to be like, that's exactly what you thought an M will get you.
You know what's crazy? When I was a kid, like 10, 11, having a $500,000, like $650,000 home, that was great. Like, especially in Texas, if your house was $500,000 to $650,000, you were living in a mansion. Maybe like not a big ass house like this, but something like a little smaller, like the ones over there. Like, it's still a mansion, but it's not like crazy. But it's like $500,000, $650,000. That's what you're paying. But now, $500,000 get you some BS.
Yep. And so what's crazy is how I was thinking about that. I'm like, damn. So when I go look at all the $8 million houses, I'm like, that's what I thought $1 million house would look like, or at least maybe 4 to 8 million. That's what I thought $1 million house would look like when I was a kid. And then if you were to think about it like this, all right, take everyone who's a millionaire, but they don't have $8 million and say, all right, you're not a millionaire, right? You're like,
Yeah.
we probably not 180,000 people, but it'd be the amount of millionaires would be a lot
Yeah,
less because
way
you
less.
just bought a house and held on to it. You're a millionaire, right? Or you just put some money in the S&P 500. You're a millionaire, but you're not able to buy the same thing somebody in 1970 would.
Yeah.
Therefore, they have more wealth, right?
Yep.
And I want y'all to understand this whole thing is about purchasing power, right? If you're able to buy everything that you need to buy whenever you need to buy it, you are wealthy. That has nothing to do with numbers on the screen,
Yep.
right? So another thing too is people can usually get this analogy, right? But up until 2001, the Argentine peso was 1-to-1 with the dollar, right? So if you have a business in Argentina and that business is, let's just say, worth $10,000,
Yeah.
right? It's worth 10,000 Argentine pesos, and it's worth $10,000 because they're the same, 1-to-1, right? And now an Argentine peso, I believe, is like 1,000 of our $1, right? So let me make sure the math is right. All right, so all right, 1,200. So $1 is now 1,200. So we'll just use 1,000,
Yeah,
right?
make it easier.
We'll use 1,000 to make it easier, right? So if in 2001 you have a $10,000 business, let's say you don't grow it, you don't do anything, it's just sitting at 10,000. We'll just say it's a house instead of a business, right? And then every year, if you measure in pesos, because the conversion from a dollar to the Argentine peso is sliding. If you're looking in pesos, your house is
Going up in value.
going up. You're like, yo, this used to be 10,000 pesos. Now the next year is 15,000. The next year it's 20,000. Next year is 50,000. The next year it's 100,000. Then it's 1,000,000, right? But it's not until you look at the dollar where you see like, oh, actually it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So you use the dollar as the measuring stick, right? If you use the Argentine peso as a measuring stick, it looks like it's growing. So if you were to put this on the chart, it starts here at 10,000, and then every year it's going up and up and up and up and up and up, right? So somebody in Argentina will say, all you have to do is buy a house. If you buy a house, it's going up. Look how much my house has gone up.
Yep.
Right? It's until you introduce the dollar and you're like, yo,
This shit not doing nothing.
it's not doing nothing. The number on it is going up, but the value of it is the same, right? Like it's not moving. You're losing to the dollar, right? So if you were to tell somebody, hey, measure your Argentine house in dollars to see the real price of it or the real value of it, right? That would make sense. That makes sense to y'all, right? Okay, now let's do the same thing. Whatever you're measuring dollars, measure in Bitcoin.
Exactly.
And that's what we've been telling you. Just measure in Bitcoin. So you say, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? Measure it in Bitcoin. It's the same scenario. One Bitcoin used to cost $1.
Yep.
Same way one Argentine peso used to cost $1. Right? So if you're measuring something, if you're measuring the stock market and every day it's going up in dollars, up and up and up and up and up and up and up, right? We'll just say, I don't know, whatever, Kava stock, every day is going up in dollars, up and up and up and up and up and up and up, right? But it's because they're putting more dollars into circulation,
Yeah.
right? So because you need more dollar, because there's so many more dollars, you have more, you need more dollars to buy this thing. So it's going up and up and up and up. So then you say, all right, it's not until we compare that to the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So then when you say, okay, let's go Kava /Bitcoin, if you're on TradingView,
Yep.
then Kava's like this, going down. So if you know that, right, and you see that and you understand everything I just said, and then someone says, well, why Bitcoin only? Why don't you diversify? Why don't you get some Kava stock?
It's like, nigga, why am I buying Kava stock if it's not actually growing?
So you're asking me why don't I want less money?
Exactly. Because you can even start off with like start off with pricing it in gold first, because it's like if
Yeah.
it ain't even beating out gold, then
Yep.
why are you holding it? And
Yep.
then if you price gold in Bitcoin, then you're like, okay, yeah, I have the best performing asset.
Exactly. So if that 10,000 Argentine peso house that he had did not move to $10 million, that would be 1,000. That would be times 1,000, right? If his house didn't go from 10K to 10 M's, he's lost the money,
Yeah.
right? It's went down in value. The only way it would stay 1-to-1 with the dollar is if now when we measure it, it would be $10 million.
Because you can even take the people who were saving in Argentinian pesos. Like imagine the people who were like, okay, I made a lot of money from my business. Now I'm going to hold a lot of cash
Yep.
through the years.
Yep.
Like what can you buy at that point? If a soda is now 6,000 Argentina pesos, and back then it was 1-to-1, you had $100,000. But now some soda 6,000 is like, I've gotten poorer.
You could buy less sodas, which makes you poor.
Exactly. So that's what we're trying to get at. It's like,
Yeah, and we're trying to tell y'all, we want to hold the thing that does not make us. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
When you tell niggas you don't want to get poor, and they look at you like
they look like you like you're crazy.
Like, yeah, they look at you like you crazy. You're like,
Or it may even be the case where, okay, you do have another, let's say, asset class that's keeping up. But when you price it in Bitcoin, it's not. So it's like we're saying, don't go in for the second or third best. It's like, if I know this is the first best, like number one place out of everything else, then I'm going to put every dollar I have to that. I don't want 5% going anywhere else just to diversify, just to do it. Because, I feel like a lot of people don't really understand diversification. They just do it because that's what they were taught, or they see somebody else doing it, their favorite.
guess who taught them that?
Who?
The people who are making money off of the fees.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, diversify, do this, do that. Like, okay, this is too much going on. I need a financial manager.
Yep.
So now they're getting, points off of your percentage. They're getting a percentage point off of your portfolio, your mom's portfolio, your dad's portfolio, your cousin's portfolio,
Yep.
right? Because if it wasn't diversification, if that wasn't my message, you would just run your own investment account, put your money into whatever asset you like. Let's say it's the S&P 500. That's it.
Yep.
But you're like, oh no, we got to go find emerging markets. We got to go do this. We got to go do that. Like, you have to find where is the incentive. You showed me the incentive. I'll show you the outcome. The incentive is if you got $1 million portfolio, you might have to give me 10 grand to manage it.
Yeah.
And all I'm going to do is just go buy the top funds. You could have did that yourself if you did the knowledge, right? So that's another thing. And then the only way that this would make sense in y'all minds, which when we say y'all, we mean the people who don't watch this, because y'all should know, is if you were to imagine you buy Bitcoin at that 15,600, right? It gets to 123. You sell all of it and go in on ETH at 2,000. And then ETH goes from 2,000 to 4,600, right? So how many people in the world are that talented?
Nobody.
Exactly none.
But everybody talks like they're that talented.
Everybody talks like they can time it. Oh, well, why don't you sell some of that and roll it here? Because when you're wrong once, you're cooked. What if you sell into ETH, right? Why would you sell? This is crazy.
That's a crazy
Nah,
statement.
that was a crazy statement. You got to add a Dame Dash pause in there.
Gotta chill on
Sell
that.
your Bitcoin for some ETH pause.
Gotta chill.
Nah, but look. And then imagine it's sitting at 1,000, or your ETH is sitting at 2,000. You're like, oh, I'll sell it when it gets to 4,000. But let's say it just trades sideways, trade sideways, and then Bitcoin goes from 120 to 170. Now you can buy less Bitcoin.
Yep.
AKA you got poor, right? So people speak as if they can mark the top, mark the bottom. They know where the things are going, blah, blah. And they're trying to make it seem like they're way more skilled than they are.
And realistically, like, it all sounds good when it played out like that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, it did go from 2,000 to 4, but that's because we already know it did that. But
Yeah.
imagine, like, a couple weeks ago, a few months ago, nobody was talking about, let me trade my Bitcoin now, buy ETH, and, like, ride it back to 4,000. Because realistically,
Pause.
nigga, we talk about crypto. Niggas talk about pause. Anyways, take it back.
Riding it back to 4,000. Riding it back to 4,000.
Hey, he gotta grow up, man.
I know, I'm 34, child as hell.
Nah, literally.
Because when people get to talk about riding it back to 4,000, like, all
You
right,
gotta peep the context though. But nah.
my bad. Go ahead.
But I don't remember what I was even talking about. But yeah, riding it back to 4,000. Like people wouldn't have known it was gonna go there. Some people may call it out, act like they know, but niggas ain't really know because they weren't really popping it like they really knew until it happens. Now you're saying, "Oh, I knew the whole time Ethereum was gonna do this, or like XYZ coin was gonna do this."
Or another thing is, you have $100,000, you split half of it at Bitcoin at 15,000, the other half at ETH at like 1,000, right? So then Bitcoin runs, and then you're happy, and then ETH runs, and then you're happy, but you don't realize because people are innumerate that you underperformed just holding Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Because one went up 400%, the other one went up 900%. You know what I'm saying? So you underperformed. So why would you want to end up with less wealth? Why would you want to get poor? We personally don't know, right? So another thing that I hear is like, used to trade stocks, and now you're telling people go all in on Bitcoin. You're like, I've answered this before. That's because if I would have went all in on Bitcoin when I understood Bitcoin, I'd be very close to being a billionaire. If not, I would be a billionaire, right? So all that trading, waking up, charting, all that stuff, when the real answer was provide value to the world so you can get some dollars and then swap those dollars for Bitcoin. Yeah. Had I been doing that since I knew about Bitcoin, I'd be close to being a billionaire, right? I'm not going to do the same thing moving forward. I'm not going to go spend all my time to underperform. You know what I'm saying?
Like, and I was even talking to one of my boys about that. Like one of our other boys, he trades stocks, and he's like been doing well with that, made a lot of money. Then my other boy was asking me about it. He was like, so like, why aren't you doing that? Like, should I get into doing that? And my answer was kind of the same thing, where it's like, imagine like waking up every morning, charting, doing all these different things, exit, like the mental battle of everything. And let's say first week you make 5,000. Then next week you make another 5,000. So like you're on this high, you're on the roll. Next week after that you lose 12,000. Now you're down. Then the next week you make 6. Now you're back at 4. Then you lose 3, and then you're like, damn, I did all of that and I'm only up $1,000. And then when you play that out for the whole year, you may have made, let's say 20, 30,000 versus let me just, like say provide value to another business, get my dollars however I'm going to get them, store it in Bitcoin and just wait, do nothing, enjoy my life, go travel with my family, with your friends, learn new things, pick up other skills you want to go do, and then you look up, you're like, damn, I haven't done nothing all year. I've made $80,000 in my portfolio.
It's a whole new paradigm because our money has been broken for so long. We just instantly think you need 14 different businesses, you need 15 different side hustles. Believe me, y'all, that was me. Like,
I've even been there trying to do 30 things at once.
I had a million things going on because imagine, bro, if you just hustled all day doing whatever you was doing and I handed you some ice cubes. When you wake up in the morning, you sat them on the counter, and you wake up in the morning and your ice cubes have melted, you're like, I got to go get more ice cubes. Yeah. And you stay in that loop of like, I'm about to go hustle. And then you get some ice cubes and then they're melting. You're looking at them melting and you're like, oh shit, I need more ice cubes, right? Yep. At what point do you say, stop giving me ice cubes?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And once you stop getting ice cubes, because then what's going to happen is you're going to go out, you're going to hustle, you're going to take your ice cubes, swap them for a golden cube. And then you're going to go to sleep, wake up, that golden cube's got a little bit bigger.
Yep.
You be like, damn, hold on. You go out, you hustle, you swap your ice cube for the golden cube, and it's got a little bit, that cube for today got a little bit bigger. So now you have this big ass stash of cubes, and every day they're just growing and growing. And you're like, all right, maybe I'm not going to have 15 hustles.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just going to do what I enjoy doing, swap the ice cube for the gold cube, and let it grow. And now you're buying back your time. And then when you start buying back your time, then you start thinking about other things, right? You start having longer term thoughts where you're like, Actually, let me lose some weight. Y'all seen I lost 40 pounds. Actually, let me lose some weight. Actually, let me reread some of these books.
Oh God.
Actually, let me find a new hobby. Let me travel more. Let me
Or
spend more time with
something that I really actually want to do versus
Yes.
I'm just doing this for money. you know?
Yes, exactly. So with that being said, even on this like journey, how we haven't been uploading as often, is actually a good thing. It's like a good thing because you're like, man, like bro, imagine not having to worry about money because now it's automatic. You get
Yeah.
paid, you pay for whatever you need to pay for. You put your money in Bitcoin, and you go enjoy your day. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, we want that for y'all.
Yeah. Simplify your life. That's the best.
To simplify your life, right? Like once you finally get it, you're like, damn, I'm not getting any more ice cubes.
Yeah.
I mean, the paranoia of getting paid in ice cube, it's gonna sit with you. You know what I mean? And eventually that paranoia starts to go away, and you're like,
Yeah.
just
'Cause-
provide value in the world, and then swap the ice cube for the gold cube.
Yeah. Once you realize and do the knowledge and you realize what the dollar is, you're like, I need to do whatever I can to get rid of these as fast as possible. But I want to store it in something that's the gold cubes, right? So you don't want to think like people are, okay, the dollar's not shit, so let me just go buy random shit and become a consumer. You want to store those dollars in the gold ice cubes, and what he's talking about, the gold ice cubes, I mean Bitcoin, but
Yeah.
and be able to buy more things in the future. So you want to increase your purchasing power, and like we said, go do the knowledge, and you'll realize you're not crazy. You need to ignore your friends, family, whoever's saying that, or go and teach them yourself, and like think about your future self or think about your future family. Like, how am I helping my future self and future family by doing this?
Yeah. And then you want to know what's crazy? Real estate is crashing in Bitcoin terms.
Yep.
And nobody say nothing about that.
Nope. Because them realtors are propping up the
Like,
the realtors is propping up all the what do you call the goddamn content behind this shit. So people are like, oh no, real estate's still doing fine.
nah, if you pricing it in Bitcoin, real estate's getting cheaper. I don't see nobody happy about that. Y'all want it. If you say you want more affordable real estate,
Yeah.
Bitcoin's making real estate more affordable.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody from my hometown just bought a house. Like, this is crazy, bro. Sent me a DM. He said, man, I'm happy you taught me about wealth. All I knew about was drugs, alcohol, and poverty.
Yep.
Off of Date Street and Pumalo. He lived on Date and Pumalo in San Bernardino. And now he bought his own crib. He said he was the first person in his bloodline to buy a crib. Like, his parents didn't own a house. His grandparents ain't own a house. At least to the most of his knowledge. And now he was able to get a house because he was storing his bread in Bitcoin. Because he sat down, listened to what I had to say. Like, bro, I'm not posting all this stuff for my own health. When I post it, it don't make me healthier. You know what I mean? I figure something out. I see the way. I'm trying to lead the people.
Because the funny thing is, people even push back and be like, okay, well, we price real estate in terms of holding Tesla stock, it's also getting cheaper. But if you price it in Bitcoin, it's getting even cheaper. And that's where we come back to the second and third best.
Like, don't you want the
cheapest way,
you want the
cheapest route possible? Like,
don't you want the most affordable house?
Exactly.
Like, so if you and your husband or you and your wife are like, hey, let's start saving for a house. You're like, all right, let's save in Bitcoin. You outperform everything.
Exactly.
And then in 5 years, you can be like, actually, we could buy 3 houses.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Instead of one or like 2 houses or 1.5. Well, 1.5 is not a real, but you get the gist. Like,
Oh, another thing too is what we've been up to. I want to talk about the rebrand of 17th, right? So we hit 10 years in business, right? 17, my watch company. We hit 10 years in business and we rebranded to Bitcoin watches, right? So our first one is Bitcoin watch, and it's an automatic watch, right? Versus a quartz. So for y'all don't know, you can put a battery in a watch and it goes tick, 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 right? Or you can use a movement with the winding system, right? And it will unwind and that'll give your second hand a clean sweep. These are more valuable watches. The movement is valuable. And even like me storing my money in Bitcoin allows me to say like, man, I'm going to keep this brand alive.
yeah,
I don't need as many sales, or I don't need to push all the time to like Where's the new one? Like, let me slow down, design again. Like, the things that made me fall in love with the brand was me designing. You know, when I first started like getting sales and stuff, I did everything but design.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, bro, but because my purchasing power keeps growing and growing and growing with Bitcoin, I say, no, I want to keep this brand alive. I love designing. I'm going to get back in my designing bag. I want to incorporate the two, because the slogan for the watch company was time is the only luxury. And then Bitcoin is buying you more time, right? So I'm like, I want to incorporate the two, yada, yada, yada. So I say all that to say this is, you know, we're storing some of our money in Bitcoin, right? So the company's wealth will continue to grow, so then we can move at our own pace. And it's not, hey, we need to sell X amount to pay our bills to do this, or we're going to go out of business. It's like, it just slows everything down.
Yeah.
Every corporation that adopts saving in Bitcoin will have a competitive advantage on the non-savers in Bitcoin. And we talked about this in one of the first few episodes, but if, you know, you're making tables and I'm making tables, and I'm saving in dollars and you're saving in Bitcoin, and the value of your company is growing because the underlying saving instrument is growing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, well, if I can't sell more tables, then I need to sell the tables for a higher dollar amount.
Yeah.
Right. But mind you, we're making the same quality table. So if we're making the same quality table, but I'm now selling a table for 500, he's selling it for 100, he's going to be in business a lot longer. And why doesn't he have to raise his prices? Is because he's storing, you know, his treasury is in Bitcoin, and that can do the heavy lifting. So his customers are going to appreciate it. His employees are going to appreciate it. Everyone's going to appreciate the fact that, like, yo, we're not just making decisions for the next quarter. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're not trying to do what we need to do to make the value of this company go up, the value of this company go up in the next quarter. We're trying to plan so we could be around 20 years from now, so our employees will still know they have a job in 20 years.
Yeah. And I even wanted to make like a side note, like if you hear what he's saying is like being able to get back into designing, drop what you really want to drop. And if you've noticed, like throughout all these 10 episodes, that us adopting a Bitcoin standard in our life has made our lives better. Yeah. So if you go from episode 1, you see like the things that he's talking about, and each episode, just watch each episode, you can notice like as Bitcoin is doing what it's doing, our lives are slowly getting better. And you can even tie that into like different corporations in your example too. So we're just saying this to say, like, if you adopt a Bitcoin standard, go do the knowledge, your life should be getting better. And if you see somebody talking about X, Y, and Z or whatever other things that are out there, and you don't noticeably see these people's lives getting better, it's like, it's for a reason.
Facts. So. Facts. Yeah, that's how I feel about those people that be like talking about building wealth, blah, blah. Because, bro, I've been on this, like, let's say on Twitter, I've been on the wealth side of Twitter since 2016, 2017.
Wait. Sorry to cut you off, but I thought of something funny. You know when people be on, like, talking about building wealth, then they're like, let's go spend $10,000 in Louis Vuitton.
Let's go spend $10,000 on nothing, nigga. Like, I thought you was a wealth builder.
Exactly, you building wealth, bro. You flashing the rollie on. You're like, damn, I thought this was about building wealth.
This was about building wealth, and I think it's because people get riches and wealth confused. You know what I mean? Like, to be rich is to have more than others. To be poor is to have less than others. To be wealthy is to have more than you need. Yeah, and that's where we're trying to lead y'all to more wealth. But but I was saying, like, I've been around this Twitter Bitcoin space. I mean, this Twitter money space since 2016, 2017, right? Like, I'm one of the OGs on Money Twitter or whatever, which was started by Ed Lattimore. For y'all Twitter folks, Ed Lattimore started Money Twitter. So anyway, there's the same people talking about the same things, and their life hasn't gotten any better, like visibly better. You know what I mean? Like their life, their health, nothing. You're like, nigga, you're just repeating stuff over and over. But if you were, you know, walking it like you was talking it,
your life should be better.
Because I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what I think is the right move as I'm letting it all play out. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like been a journey for when I first got into business with the watch company. You know, I'm like, man, I like designing. And I was into the stock market already since I was like 18. And I'm noticing, I'm like, well, if Nike wants to make more money, they need to sell more products. Well, if I want to make more money, I need to sell something. I need to have something to sell.
Yeah.
I see the whole social media thing coming, right? I'm like, you know what? If social media gets any bigger, everyone's going to be their own version of like Kim Kardashian, right? Where instead of me having to sell my watch company into a retail store, instead of me relying on JCPenney to buy a 10,000 units of my watches, I can go on the internet, create my own website, and then get people on social media to buy my watches. So the way I was thinking back in 2013, 2014, 2015 when we launched is that if I can get 1,000 people to buy a $100 watch, I don't need a job. Like I can survive off of that, right? If my grandpa were to build a watch company, no, he would need retail stores to pick it up. So the whole concept of going directly to the consumer is just you paying attention to where life is going.
Yeah.
We're going on the internet. You got what I'm saying? Like, so in 2014, 2015, y'all didn't see, everybody has businesses and stuff now, but I was the weird guy for having a watch company back then.
Yeah.
And then the next step is, okay, I'm making money. Now I need to store my money. All right, I'm buying real estate. All right, I'm buying stocks, or I'm buying this, right? Oh, I'm buying a little bit of Bitcoin. And then the next step is, wait a minute. One of these things is not like the other. You know what I mean? Like, why am I still feeling like I'm on this rat race? Bro, I had a few M's and I still felt like I was on the rat race. Like every day I got to get up. It's because I'm watching these ice cubes melt. You know what I mean? Like, damn, those houses I used to have saved on Zillow for 500, they 800 now, or they 1.2 now, and you're like, man, just watching your ice cubes melt. So I would say I always felt like I knew what was coming next, right? So in 2014, when I started building the watch company, I seen the whole creating a brand for yourself on the internet. I seen that coming next. So I start working in the present moment, preparing for the future where everybody would be online. Same thing happened in the pandemic. Pandemic happens, all these assets crash because the whole global economy shut down. You're buying into these assets saying, I'm making an educated guess that life will return back to normal. And when life returns back to normal and all these stores open back up and all these cruise lines and airlines and all these things open back up, their price of the stock will return. Boom, you're going to get money out of that, right? And then you let it play out. You place your bet and then you let it play out. And then you start to see like, hey, everyone's slowly getting poor, but they don't realize it, right? The reason why they're getting poor is because the Fed, because the IMF, because of the banks creating money, right? I believe people will wake up to the concept of, hey, I'm tired of getting poor. And when they wake up to that, they're going to find Bitcoin. And I might sell you a little bit of my Bitcoin in the very far future, but you have to pay me like $20 million a coin.
Nah, literally.
And we only at 100,000 right now. So maybe I'll sell 2 coins or some little amount way in the future. But it's basically like you're making an educated guess, right, on where you think the future is going to be, and then you beat people there. Maturity is moving at your own pace, no matter how fast or slow everybody else is moving.
What's even crazy, I had a similar story. So before we even met, I was telling you, like, I was like selling clothes and different things like that. So to even take it from my perspective, like being a lot younger, like he had like, because a lot of maybe people around my age maybe weren't like, they might be like been 15 around the time you were doing this, so they don't really like realize this. So it's not really an age thing.
Probably like 10.
10 when you were doing that. So they don't even have like the concept of knowledge. Like they may have thought they missed the boat, but we can take like a small side note of like some tiny business advice, like basically like going more into what you were saying. So like before, like I would say I'm 24 now. So when I was like 18, 19, like I started selling clothes, but you know how like the fashion trend had shifted from going from we're all wearing like tighter clothes to okay, now we're wearing baggy clothing. So like
your generation,
so look, so
but go ahead.
So back then, like I was like deep into like the fashion scene and like what's going on in the fashion like space, and people don't really realize, but like I think I've said this before, but like Travis Scott popularized like baggier clothing. So once he started doing it, like it caught on like fast, but people didn't know like where can we get these type of clothings from. Now it's like all over Zara, all over these IG brands, everything. But back then, like 4 or 5 years ago, it wasn't like that. Like you had to go to like third party sites or like a third party person,
vintage stores or something like
to
that.
go and find them. So
Yeah.
basically, what I was doing was like I had like stores like flea markets. I'd go like diving in flea markets. I'd go to like different like thrift stores and
Like
other
driving around the city,
Yeah,
looking for
driving
places.
around the city. Like
Yeah.
anybody like who knows me back then could attest. Like, and one day I'd hit like 7-8 stores, but I knew everywhere at which point what day had this, and like I've like perfected the craft. But like basically what I'm saying is like realizing like where the trend is going, like he said, and beat
beating
people
people
to
there.
the punch.
Yeah.
And when you're the first mover, you're gonna be the one making all the money. So
Yep.
like around that time, just selling what people wanted, being the person who had it before like the stores, Zara's, and all these IG brands, I'm making like $10,000-$15,000 a month.
Boy, was touching
shit back
Boy, was
then.
touching
But
shit.
that's because like I'm a first mover, and then like to kind of like
Hey, hold on. When I was 18, I was in Iraq, nigga.
fighting
Getting
wars.
bombed.
Nigga,
That's crazy,
I'm
but-
on my phone like selling. I even got my screensaver still like of like hella orders, like PayPal orders just coming through. So like
Boys doing numbers.
niggas always know I'm not capped. So look, and then even to segue what I was saying earlier about trading. So I was taking that, even though I was making a lot of money, I'm taking a lot of it, trying to like, okay, now I need to know that I need to make more of it because I'm holding
need to
ice
grow the
cube.
money,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
making they're ice cubes. I didn't realize they were ice cubes wholeheartedly, but I'm like, okay, I need to just hearing around like, okay, I need to make more money with the money I have. So I'm like, okay, let me go and trade like options or like other things. So I'm looking for, okay, I've seen people make thousands of dollars in one day. How are they doing? Oh, options. Let me go do the same thing. And you know how you were saying that if you would have just took the money you were making at that time and bought Bitcoin, you'd be a billionaire at the time. And at that time, if I would have just took all of that money and just been buying Bitcoin the whole time, I would have M's by now. But I went and did the other things that everybody's telling us about.
And even if you made more money in dollars, like let's say you hit on some trades, blah, blah, you made more dollars, you like, you still missed the elephant in the room.
Exactly.
Yeah. And actually it's dope that's why I think that this dude is so dope is because, bro, what 18-year-old was thinking like this? What 18-year-old was touching shit and then had enough foresight to know that, hey, I got to keep this money, so let me figure out ways to grow it. You know what I mean? Like I said, when I was 18, I was getting bombed. I was getting bombed. I wouldn't even think about that type of stuff. But no, it's dope. But like, I think, I'm rereading Fiat Ruins Everything right now. And it's so crazy how much like the stuff that he's talking about, you can see it play out. Like he's saying like fiat money ruins education, it ruins relationships, it ruins marriages, it ruins corporation, it ruins all these things. So now when you have sound money, right? I've adopted a Bitcoin standard, he's adopted a Bitcoin standard. Everything slows down. You can get back to what you love, right? So like you might want to launch another business or, you know what I mean? We cooking up right now or whatever, but it's like things that I actually want to
really want to do to help people or like really interested into this.
Yeah, you're like, oh, how does that work? Oh, okay. Is this going to help the people that, you know, need help?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's do it. Versus I need to make some money.
Yeah. What's the next play?
What's the next, what's the next play? Like, no, bro, like, I know that people out there think that the whole economy has changed and you got to like go from play to play to play to play to play. No, businesses have been built, wealth has been built the same way over the last 5,000 years.
Providing
you know
value and storing it.
You provide value, store value. So like, you're like, if bro want to, I don't know, go build houses and you know what I mean? Because all the houses that we're building, they're using the cheapest material. They're giving you the AliExpress windows and you're like, no, bro, let's bring back quality building. Let's bring back quality this. Let's bring back quality that. And my company doesn't need to compete with these other fuck ass companies because we're going to store our money in something that grows, right? And I think that's what Bitcoin could do. It could be a whole renaissance of bringing quality back, right? And quality for a good price. So I mean, hey, life getting better.
Even going to like when you sold like your cars and your watches, like you're not tripping to take a loss because it's like shit.
We'll be back. Yeah, that's what's crazy. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell y'all while we was on this while we was having technical difficulties, I sold my G-Wagon. I sold all my Rolexes, and I sold a Vacheron I had. I sold a bunch of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I sold a bunch of stuff. That stuff ended up getting me like 2 point something Bitcoin, right? What I bought, so look, imagine this. I buy, that G-Wagon cost me like 3 something, right? Mm-hmm. I sell it for 115, but that ends up being a whole Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
Do I think Bitcoin's gonna get to $300,000? Of course.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's gonna grow forever and ever and ever, right? So you're like, all this extra stuff, because I'm looking at it, I'm like, I just wanna buy myself more time. I want to buy my family more time. I want to be able to do the things I want to do. Having extra cars laying around, and bro would tell you I didn't even drive that car.
Oh God!
It was just sitting there, and one day I'm just hitting. I'm like, is that a Bitcoin sitting in my garage? Let me go sell that shit. I got all these watches in a safe.
Yeah, that you ain't even wearing them hoes.
I didn't wear them. Like I'm like, bro, I want to get back to doing my own watch brand. Like fuck these watches.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like. So anyway, I made some moves, and I'm like, y'all might think I'm tripping, but I'm not, right? So I want to go back to kind of the business talk, because what I was saying is like, hey, a lot of people are going to be interested in building online businesses. I can show them that, or I could sell them things and provide the proof of concept. You're like, a lot of people are going to go to this fashion trend. I'll be the place where they can get it, right? So in business, you're just solving problems, right?
Yep.
So all you're saying is, how big is this problem and how can I contribute to it? All right. Now, what Satoshi did with Bitcoin is he said, everybody's getting poor.
Yeah.
How big is that problem? Everyone in the world is affected by the same thing, bro. Everybody is their wealth is being suppressed or even shrank by the overlords of central banks. It's not just the Federal Reserve. There's many central banks, right? And or your money might be tied to your money might be tied to the dollar, and the dollar's tied to nothing.
Bless you.
Damn. All right, so your money might be tied to the dollar, and the dollar's tied to nothing. So as the dollar falls, the value of your dollar falls, right? Who does this affect? Every single person in the world, right? So if you walk around and you go around and you look, how many people, we're talking about Bitcoin today, it's chilling at 120,000. Your neighbor don't know about it. You still early. You know what I mean?
Facts. Every
person, every institution. There's a rumor going around that Harvard bought $115 million worth of Bitcoin today.
Yeah.
I don't know if I didn't check the source or not, but I heard that that's cool. And that would be cool, because a few years ago they put out a paper saying that it was a Ponzi scheme when it was $1,000, and you're like, well,
look at you now paying 115, 118 for that.
Yeah, stupid.
And that's another thing,
crazy.
like, you don't need to wait on the consensus to come to your idea. You know, like with your business, like you're not looking for, okay, are other people trying to do what I'm trying to do?
Yeah.
Like,
I trust my eyeballs.
Yeah, trust your eyeballs. Trust what you think. Same thing with Satoshi. He's not looking for like, okay, is this government trying to do this, or is this individual trying to do it? It's like, I noticed a problem myself, and I'm going to be the one to do something about it.
What's dope is he didn't even say, hey, I need a bank to partner with me to launch this. He's like, here's a whole new system of money. I think you will find it valuable.
Yeah.
Boom.
Launch it to the world.
Sends it out, and people are like, yo, wait, hold on. And that's what led us to, like, bro, think about how much knowledge you get just from like learning about like the difference between Keynesian economics and like Austrian economics. So you like go down the rabbit hole and you start thinking about the difference between Austrian economics, Keynesian economics, right? And then as you're learning about this, then you're like, oh, the Keynesian way of doing things, this is why our education system is set up this way. This is why you can have thousands of people who graduate with a finance degree and they don't understand you need sound money that can't be easily recreated. You're like, all you niggas study finance and nobody came up with that theory? Well, it's because there's a school of thought that is being taught that supports, no, we need to keep expanding. And the Austrians are like, yo, we're not doing that, right? So it goes, it's like, it's in the education, bro. It's in the health. Like the food that they tell you to eat now, like the grains and all that stuff, like that's slop. That's stuff they used to feed the peasants back in the day, but now it's the everyday, diet. Like
that's why all these health problems. And
this is why we have all these health
expectancy dropping.
Like, and you're like, bro, think about it. If you're a company, right? Every corporation, their goal is just to turn as much profit as possible, as fast as possible. When they don't hit their quarterly goals, the stock tanks 22%. Now the CEO got worried about getting dethroned because the board of directors might vote him off of it because they missed one quarter, right? Like, we've sped up the natural way of doing things so fast in pursuit of dollars that we lost a lot of quality, even with the food, right? And you're like, bro, people talking about eating lab-grown meat.
That shit's crazy.
Hey, don't let me catch none of y'all eating no lab-grown meat.
Eating that lab meat?
Yeah, like, that's crazy. But, like, it sounds crazy, but you like, nigga, they was giving a, like, that plant-based meat and stuff. Like, they just filling it up with soy. And then what they do is then they're just going to go have this newspaper talk about it. They're going to pay for the propaganda to kind of brainwash you. And all it's doing is taking you away from eating quality foods.
Exactly.
Lean meats, veggies, fruit. You get what I'm saying? But you're like, no, it actually costs less money to make some slop and then feed it to people. And then we're like, why do we have all these problems? Right? And you're like, bro, you see how the broken money plays out in all these different aspects of society. So I want to slow down. I want to, understand what's going on. And I don't want anybody to have the ability to make me poor.
Yeah.
You got what I'm saying? Like, when you got XRP people, you got the founder of XRP selling his XRP for dollars.
Exactly.
Telling you this is the future of money, but I still want that money.
Exactly.
Satoshi ain't sold nothing. Whales might sell. They deserve to sell. But the founder, he's saying this is better than the dollar, and then in the future go swap it for the dollar.
And my thing is with all these coins is like, how do you think they're funding operations? Like, I mean, we get on their ass, so I don't got to go too much into it.
I still want to get on their ass.
Like, it's like, how do you think they're funding these operations, right? Because let's say if XRP was a stock, right? Like, it wouldn't be nothing but a penny stock, because if they showed their earnings, it would be nothing. Because where's your adopters? Where's your closed deals? Where's the activity on the blockchain?
Yeah, what product, service, or information are you selling?
Exactly. So if you're looking at like that, like most of these companies aren't, okay, we're selling shares to, fund operations, all of our operations. Yeah. And if everybody found that out, they're like, okay, this stock is worthless.
They don't sell anything other than their stock.
Exactly. Then you're like, well, then we're dumping this shit. So it's the same thing with these altcoins. It's like, okay, you can plug in any of them. They're all, using either it's pre-mined or, XRP. The worst one is like, we still have it in escrow. So when it comes unavailable, we may give it to an influencer. We may give it to like venture capitalists.
All those people, think about how all those people are like, put these top cryptos in your, like, how do you know they weren't paid to say that?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Satoshi never paid me nothing, shit.
Exactly.
But let's talk about the Clarity Act.
Oh yeah, like the Clarity Act, man. A lot of people don't read. And what we came back to is like
niggas don't read.
Niggas don't read nothing.
The Boondocks told us all this, to be honest.
So what's funny is you kind of realize like people don't read when you go on social media and you see a lot of people saying the Genius Act and the Clarity Act. But I'm going to just talk about the Clarity Act for the most part. So a lot of people are like, oh my God, the Clarity Act just dropped. This is so bullish for all of these altcoins. You're like, wait, did you read what the act is doing? Like, did you actually go to like the government website, or did you go to a trustworthy source to actually read what the Clarity Act is? And basically it's an act passed to bring more clarity on the difference from a commodity and a security. So a commodity doesn't have any issuers, so you can take like gold, Bitcoin, wheat. Those are all, those are all commodities, versus like a security would be something like Tesla stock. It has an issuer. So what the Clarity Act is basically doing, trying to distinguish which foundations or like which like SEC, or I think it's like the CCT, me see. I think it's the CC. One second. Yeah, the CFTC. To basically, which one do you fall under? So if you're security, you're gonna be falling under the rules of the SEC, and then if you're a commodity, then you'd fall under the CFTC. So basically, the act is just distinguishing what are we calling a commodity and what are we defining as a security. So for a commodity,
Is the whole purpose like if you're issuing something, you need to be registered, right?
Yeah.
If you're issuing, like if you're gonna issue some type of like equity, or you're gonna issue some type of coins, then you need to be classified as such, or you need to be registered to do so.
Yeah.
So then me spinning up crypto tokens in my bedroom won't get listed on an exchange.
exactly. And all these assets will start off as as securities
Until proven otherwise.
Until proven otherwise. So your XRPs, your Solana, and all these will be, Ethereum would be issued, said to be securities. So start off being securities. And what they're basically doing, they lined out a set of rules. So it has to be a mature blockchain. It has to be sufficiently decentralized. And when they say sufficiently decentralized, it's not a blockchain or like a coin that relies on a foundation to make different managerial efforts. So that's like marketing, or that's
like the Ethereum Foundation.
Exactly. So, or making different, choices for the coin itself, like launching new releases and other things like that, or
Moving from proof of work to proof of stake.
So if you're not all the way decentralized, then you don't fall under being a commodity, because you're still relying on managerial efforts, and you need a mature blockchain system. So when they say a mature blockchain system, they want to see actual transactions on that blockchain to define it as mature. So you can't have like a XRP or a Cardano and you have a dead space, a dead blockchain nobody really uses.
Wait, hold on, I have a question. How many people do you think who buy these coins go look and see the activity on the blockchain?
They don't look. Because if they would look, then it'd be like, well, this blockchain is dead. Like, take Polkadot. That blockchain is empty. There's nobody.
What about VeChain?
Hey, chill. Chill.
What about VeChain?
Yeah.
You think that's a growing blockchain?
That's not a growing blockchain, not going to lie. So even the, like, centralized.
So I shouldn't buy it?
You shouldn't buy that shit.
If I had something, should I sell it?
Hey, man, sell that shit. Lito, we talking to you. Sell that shit, man. But we got to do a clip of this and at him, like, Lito, sell that shit. Some days I be waking up like, my nigga Lito, man, sell that shit, man.
Facts.
I'm not trying to see you go out like that.
Facts. I'm trying to, yeah.
Like, hey, Lito, it be some nights where I be really concerned, like, bro, I already know how this is going to play out. I'm like, bro, sell that shit. Get rid of that
Lito,
shit.
sell that VeChain, Lito.
But
do the knowledge.
Back to it, like, there's also no like centralization, like governance of the coin. Like it can't be pre-mined, like a large treasury reserve. So take like XRP, they have a large reserve of, coins that they have in escrow, or like, I want to say like 99% of these coins all did a pre-mine.
So what's going to be the consequence once they get, or what is the potential ramifications of them being listed as,
security?
As a security as opposed to a commodity.
So if you're listed as a security, you fall under all the rules of the SEC. So you're going to have to come out and like, say what your financials look like, who owns what, and like different other things.
And imagine you're some random ass developer spinning these things up. You're like, I'm not doing none of that, bro.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna leave the project alone.
Because
and then your money is tied into this shit.
Exactly. So if you have to come out with your financials and you have to see what's going on in the back end, like what's the governance structure, like you have to file and let all of that be public. And also if you're listed as a security, most of these exchanges like your Kraken, your Coinbase, your name any exchanges you want to say, they're not licensed to
offer securities.
So a lot of them would have to go delisted. And then like some people would say, okay, well, what if these coins just don't, file for anything? Then you're also penalized, and you have to also be delisted, because it's like, if you're not a security or a commodity, then you're not allowed to be listed. So a lot of these coins with their, like a lot of these, foundations and stuff, they're going to obviously try to apply as, commodities. And I know what it's going to look like. Oh, XRP has applied to be a commodity. And then the price just shoots up because people don't really
Hold on, bro. I seen a headline that said you can buy Rolexes with XRP. And then I seen another headline that said that BlackRock was putting $10 trillion in it. And I seen every influencer post that shit. Where's that 10 trillion at? Mm-hmm. No, like that's a real ass question. Where's that 10 trillion at, OJ?
Nowhere to be found.
Oh, okay. Can I go buy a Rolex with XRP?
Nope.
Should we go to Rolex tomorrow and be like, yo, we don't got no XRP, but if we have some,
hey, them niggas will turn you out there.
They'd be like, bro, what are you talking about?
Exactly.
Isn't it funny? Like some crypto Twitter accounts just post big ass headlines, and then people will be like, anything. Breaking news! You can now
buy because they said that,
brother.
And I know that's what it's gonna look like. A lot of they're gonna obviously apply as a commodity to save face, but once the SEC and the FTC do their like due diligence, like they've been looking at this for years now, like with different cases, like they know what to look for and certain criteria, and it's like explicit like criteria. It's not like we're still bouncing across the edges like, oh, you kind of did a pre-mine and you kind of didn't, so we're gonna let you in as a commodity. When call it what it is, they're just unlicensed security. That's what you guys are buying, unlicensed securities. Yeah. So once they get deemed as what they are, then I think it's going to be a way different market from
For the record, we don't really care what you buy, but it's just this is why we wouldn't touch it, because we're not trying to get poor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And people don't, that's what it is about like investing in things like that. You're not looking at what is the long-term legislation going to look like for things like this, because think about this, like you, Chris Johnson, you're looking to raise money, right? You're looking to grow your wealth or get richer. You're like, okay, I could launch a big corporation and go public, but that requires like a lot of lawyer fees. That requires like a lot of filing. That requires
it's gonna cost like $20 million a year to stay in compliance.
And you need an actual real corporation, company products, different things like that.
Or, hear me out, I launched the CJ token, and then I spin up a bunch of bots on Twitter saying CJ token to the moon.
You do a pre-mine.
And then I pre-mine. I keep like 80% of it. Then I give some influencer like 100 bands to post it. And as soon as he posts it and y'all buy it, I sell it. And then boom, I'm at the Ferrari store, and y'all niggas are like, what's the next play?
Like you are the play.
You are the play, bro.
Like, that's what people don't realize. And it's like, think about that.
Niggas not knowing they're gonna play is kind of crazy.
Like, think about that structure. Like, okay, we can hire some devs. So maybe you're like you may be all in like $1 million. You launch this, you hire some devs, you built a blockchain that nobody uses. Then you're just playing for pure marketing at that point.
Yeah.
Then okay, me and all my developers and my founders, we're all up hundreds of millions of dollars. And we can go run that play over and over again. You don't think there's going to be any legislation to stop this? Because the SEC sees what's happening. They see the loophole that a lot of these foundations are taking.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and I think they might even classify memes in a different thing, like maybe more like a collectible or whatever. Just say, hey, this is like kind of like a baseball card or something. But everything's gonna have it's gonna play out some way, somehow, and
everything has its label. Everything's clarity on what is what.
And I would advise y'all not to get caught on the wrong side. But even
people might say like, okay, it's a security, and so what? Well, if they're like we were saying, if they're delisted, then liquidity dries up, because now people are gonna have to go to like real sketchy third-party exchange,
some Singapore exchange. Some Singapore exchange where you need to sell blood samples. You might get got, my boy.
Exactly.
I sleep peaceful at night. It's Bitcoin on ice. Bitcoin in cold storage, man. It's crazy because I'm like, bro, the amount of news I don't pay attention to anymore.
Yeah, me neither.
The more I'm like, bro, I just want to read books, get in better shape, travel, hang out with my friends and my family, and then Get rid of my ice cubes.
Yeah, because a lot of the news we be having to look it up before we're about to start.
Yeah, you're like,
we
bro,
don't-
people be yapping about nothing.
We don't be. I just check the price to be
Yeah.
honest and like read.
Or
really it.
that's funny too. Like when you tell somebody about their shitcoin, and then they come because I guess the shitcoin went up, and then they're like, "See, I told you." And this is a combo you have 4 months with them on Instagram or Twitter, and you're like, "I don't have no type of crypto
Yeah.
notifications on my phone or any crypto app, so I don't know that your shitcoin went up." I
Go
go on,
say something, then you'll go look.
yeah, I'm like, "Oh, the shitcoin must."
This
Shit-
dumbass nigga just hit me. Let me see what you talking about.
If you send me a message, this shitcoin must have went up because I go on my phone, look at Strike, and I'm like, "Oh, we're at 120, cool."
Facts, I don't be paying attention.
I
to
don't
nothing,
care, bro. Like, I'm not trying to be in a position where anybody or anything can make me poor. If the price of Bitcoin if the dollar price of Bitcoin goes down, good, I'll buy more, which means I need more dollars to buy more, which
Yep.
means I need to come up with product, services, or information that people are interested in, aka provide value to people, so then we can exchange whatever I'm providing for your dollars. Then I'll swap those dollars for Bitcoin. It kind of forces people to be productive, bro.
It's even like jump back onto the altcoins. It's just like, nigga, like this next like alt season that people think is coming, it's not gonna be what people think it's gonna be. Cause like during the low interest rate phenomenon time, like people were just buying anything. You remember you could close your eyes and just buy any coin and you were gonna be up.
I did that a few times.
Yeah, like you're
Yeah.
gonna be up 400%.
Before,
Like
yeah.
the consumers and like retail had expendable cash, and there were narratives at the time, and there was less coins at the time. So if you look now, where the retail investors strip for cash, people don't have
The average everyday person right now is hurting.
Like credit card debt is at an all-time high.
Yeah.
Spend like
We're in an everything
Yeah,
bubble
exactly.
right now. Like, bro,
Everything
people don't
bubble.
have money to speculate, and everyone's putting a few hundred, few thousand into this coin, that coin. Hey, whether the alt season comes or not, I don't think it's going to come. But whether it comes or not, I hope people learn their lesson this time to
Yeah.
take profits
Fast
in
enough,
Bitcoin.
yeah. Take
Like,
profit
okay,
fast
cool,
enough.
your dollar price went up, but you're not hustling for dollars, bro.
Exactly.
You're not trading for dollars. I even tell people listen to Wealth Squad when they trade stocks and trade options, like, you just do that so you can buy more Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Right? And if that's not the goal, stop trading and just take your income and buy the Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we're all playing a game to get more Bitcoin. So if the alt season comes and that's something y'all into, that freaky ass shit, just take profits at the top, man. Take profits when you got them, bro.
And all season is some freaky shit.
Just,
I ain't gonna lie.
like, bro, like,
That's some nasty shit to be into.
that's some nasty. Yeah, like, what do you mean you got? I ain't gonna say the name of some of them coins, bro, but like they be having crazy names for the tokens. Like, there's some crazy names. There's NIGER, but and you're like, it's black folks buying this coin in
God.
hopes to get some dollars.
Long
That's
as I
another
can
thing
get
too, bro.
rich,
You keep
so.
using them Diddy dollars, you be selling your damn soul to get dollars. You know what I mean? Like, nah, bro. Provide value, store value. That's the name of the game. The best place to store value is Bitcoin. So, got anything else to say?
Didn't you want to talk about opportunity, like the window of opportunities closing for a lot of people?
Yeah, so y'all know how, okay, if you were in Bitcoin when Bitcoin was 10K, you could say you need 10 Bitcoin because it's about $100,000, right? Like, that's a decent amount of money, but people have that or people can get that. So you say, okay, get 10 Bitcoin. And then when Bitcoin goes to 120, you say, okay, get 1 Bitcoin. The goal right now, get 1 Bitcoin, right? I tell y'all this all the time, get 1 Bitcoin. But think about the people who had 10 Bitcoin because
Yeah.
they survived from the get 10 Bitcoin era. Now they're in the get 1 Bitcoin era, right? They're $1 million+ up, right? Now we're eventually in the very, very, very near future going to move to the get 0.1 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have
0.1, yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have 1. Everyone's gonna say, "Hey, get half," and you're gonna have 1. Everyone's gonna say, "Get 0.1." So when 0.1 Bitcoin is $100,000, and you got one whole one, you have $1 million. The same way that the goal right now is to get 1, and some people have 10. You
Yep.
get what I'm saying? So that window of opportunity is like getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I even started to have this thought that I'm like, bro, I don't even think Bitcoin, it might not even change the world, bro. But it will for sure change your world.
Exactly.
Because there's going to be enough people who adopt it, right? So, like, in a way, think about it like this, y'all. In a way, the internet didn't change the world. It just changed the world of the people who use the internet. Does that make sense? Because if you're in the middle of, like, the Amazon rainforest, the internet didn't change your world.
Exactly.
But if you live in Tokyo, the internet changed the world. You know what I'm saying? So I'm starting to think Bitcoin might be the same way, where it's not going to change the world. It's going to change the world of the people who adopt it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, damn, now you can afford to buy your family a home. Now you can afford to pay for your children's education. You can go on vacations. You can eat real meat and not lab meat. You know what I mean? Like, you can afford to do certain things that the people who choose to ignore the revolution, the financial revolution that's coming, aren't going to have those options. And that's what we want y'all to have, is the optionality. But yeah, that window is getting smaller and smaller, bro. I'm feeling it. I'm sure you feeling it.
Because once you be trying to make them couple $1,000 buys or 10,000 or whatever you're doing, it's like, damn, I'm not getting that much no more for real.
Hey,
You remember like
that's
the
crazy.
feeling of buying at like 40, 50, 30 versus buying right now? You're like, damn.
Now, I was buying a couple Bitcoin a week, bro.
Yeah.
I was buying Bitcoin, whole coins in a week. And now I'm like, pockets feeling light, my boy. Then you press buy, and it's like, all right, give us your 5 bands, and we're gonna give you 0.0. They'd be like, damn, that's a lot of zeros.
Oh God,
It's
that shit
closing,
barely
y'all.
moving my shit no more.
Yeah, it's crazy, y'all. It's getting to the next milestone in Bitcoin is getting much harder. So yeah, that window is closing. So take it serious and get rid of all the bullshit you don't need.
Yep.
Like, you got jewelry sitting at your house, watches sitting at your house, an extra house, rental property. You don't need none of that. You don't even need a rental property.
Yeah.
Like, remember that dude? Some dude went viral because he was showing how the tenants left his house. It was like flies and shit. I'm like, Bitcoin would never.
Yeah.
It would never. Like, I don't got to
Hey, bro,
deal
say
with.
you can't live in a Bitcoin.
Yeah, like, nigga, you can't live in the S&P 500. You don't live in that house.
Exactly.
Like,
Like, what are you talking about?
ain't that crazy? If people be like, yeah, you can't live in a Bitcoin. Like, do you live in your rental house, or does a
Exactly.
tenant live there? But
People just like the idea of shit, to be
yeah.
honest.
What else? What else was on that list?
That was really, I think we hit most of the points. It was just, I think the last thing was talking about like the Fed having to cut rates, if you want to touch on that.
Oh yeah. So it's crazy because when we had low interest rates, so the Federal Reserve determines what the cost to borrow money is, right? So when we had low interest rates, when it was damn near nothing to borrow money, this is when everybody was speculating. This is when we had the big crypto cycle. Everything was going up like crazy. But in a low interest rate environment, we had a $69,000 Bitcoin, right? So people were speculating. A lot of people were in it because they understood the value, but a lot of people were speculating on Bitcoin, right? Low interest rate, that was part of speculation. Now we have higher interest rates, and it went from being the speculation to being the lifeboat.
Yeah.
So the interest rates are going to have to cut eventually. You know, we're going to get a cut probably next month in September, and that brings more liquidity into the economy, right? Matter of fact, global M2 hit an all-time high today, right? That money eventually finds its way into Bitcoin. So I think we're going much higher.
Yep.
My best guess still 300-400K. Don't know when, but it'll happen eventually. But what we're not gonna do is ride ETH to 4K.
Get yourself cooked.
You get yourself cooked. We're not getting on no other things. We're gonna keep stacking our sats. We're gonna keep. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin, y'all. You're buying
Right at a
satoshis,
piece,
right?
Piece by piece.
Yeah, piece by piece, brick by brick, bit by bit, right? So episode 10, we hope y'all like it. This is what we're going to do. The funniest comment, the top comment, the most insightful comment, whatever we deem, like we're just going to pick 2 good comments, and I'll whenever we pick them, I'll send each person $500 in Bitcoin. So y'all drop y'all Bitcoin, y'all drop y'all comments.
Niggas gonna turn into fucking Kevin Hart in that bitch.
Nah, I'm looking for the funny stuff, the insightful stuff, this is what you made me realize.
Okay.
Or I never thought about it like this, or have you looked into that? Like something that's gonna help people or make people laugh or whatever. Y'all hit the comments. I'm gonna find 2 people. I'll respond to your comments. I'll ask you for a Bitcoin address. I'll send you 2 people 500 in Bitcoin each.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably on some like hit me in the DM or like what's your Instagram?
Yeah. We're gonna find a way to talk so it won't be so the bots won't interfere or whatever. But
so what's the comments that they need to do? What is it?
It's just anything that I think is cool. So like a funny comment, an insightful comment. This is what I learned comment. This is what Bit by Bit episode 1 through 10 has taught me. Mm-hmm. This is what I've learned from watching Chris and OJ. Whatever, y'all.
So like an interesting ass comment.
Just
from
an interesting comment. I'll pick 2 people.
And niggas is gonna see if that's AI or not, because you know you could tell.
Yeah.
Somebody use AI, be like,
very interesting.
Hi, great sir.
Yeah. Very interesting point, Chris. I like the fact that you said that you like Bitcoin. Please send me monies.
Nah, niggas ain't dumb, so write that shit with your heart.
Just make it interesting, man. Yeah. And I'm going to find 2 people. I'll see $500 worth of Bitcoin to 2 different people. So, yeah. Actually, let's make it 3 people.
All
right, cool. 3 people. Yeah, y'all drop whatever comment y'all want to drop. Hopefully it's something that, you know, y'all learned from us or something funny or something y'all noticed. Y'all like how he always rocking his chair or kicking his feet or something. Anything, y'all. So, Bit by Bit, episode 10, man. I'm Chris. This is OJ.
Wait. Side note, if you get on my ass, you're not winning.
Hey, I'm sending the bread. Y'all get on his ass. Y'all might win. I was like, we out, y'all.
All right.